Israeli plans to annex part of the occupied West Bank has drawn increasing international criticism as many European countries consider punitive economic sanctions against Israel. 3 EU diplomats said France is urging its European Union partners to consider threatening Israel with a tough response if it goes ahead with its de facto annexation of part of the occupied West Bank. Belgium, Ireland and Luxembourg also want to discuss the possibility of punitive economic measures during a foreign ministers' meeting on Friday. However, all member states would have to agree to any collective action. The Sultanate of Oman's Health Ministry Tuesday confirmed 148 new cases of the novel coronavirus, bringing to 3,721 the country's overall infections. COVID-19 fatalities stand at 17, with no new deaths reported Tuesday. The total number of recoveries in the country has increased by 39 to reach 1,250, the Omani news agency reported, citing an update from the ministry. The UAE has announced 783 new COVID-19 cases and 2 deaths on Tuesday. The Ministry of Health and Prevention in UAE said the new coronavirus cases were detected through 32,000 tests conducted over the past few days. This takes the total number of confirmed cases in the UAE to 19,661. The ministry reported 2 more deaths from the novel coronavirus have been confirmed, taking the country's death toll to 203. According to the ministry, the deceased suffered from pre-existing chronic illnesses, which resulted in complications that led to their death. The United Kingdom's COVID-19 death toll topped 30,000 as of early May, by far the worst yet reported in Europe, raising questions about Prime Minister Boris Johnson's handling of the coronavirus crisis. Figures published by the Office for National Statistics for England and Wales brought the United Kingdom's official death toll to 38,289 as of May 3rd, up nearly 6,000 in the space of a week. While different ways of counting make comparisons with other countries difficult, the figure confirmed Britain was among those hit worst by a pandemic that has killed more than 285,000 worldwide. The Ministry of Health in a press release Tuesday said Singapore has confirmed 884 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of cases there to 24,671. The vast majority of the new cases are work permit holders residing in foreign worker dormitories. The ministry said the details of the cases are being investigated and further updates will be shared via the press release that will be issued later in the day. Japan plans to approve its first COVID-19 antigen testing kits Wednesday, a health ministry official said, to boost the number of diagnostic tests available to battle the pandemic. Antigen tests scan for proteins found on or inside a virus and typically test a sample taken from the nasal cavity using swabs. The tests can detect the virus quickly but produce false negatives at a higher rate than the currently dominant PCR or polymerase chain reaction tests. According to state media reports, Wuhan, where the global coronavirus epidemic first started, has ordered officials to prepare to test its entire 11 million population after the central Chinese city reported a handful of new infections for the first time since its lockdown was lifted. The plan should prioritize the testing of vulnerable groups and areas like residential compounds. 6 locally transmitted cases reported on May 10th and 11th were found in people already under quarantine who were asymptomatic before testing positive, according to the local government. Spain ordered a 2-week quarantine for all travelers coming into the country from next Friday in a bid to curb the spread of the novel coronavirus after as the country emerges from one of Europe's strictest lockdowns, a move that will further harm a tourist industry already reeling from the epidemic. The quarantine has been enforced for all travelers coming to Spain between May 15th and at least May 24th, when the state of emergency is due to end. The quarantine order can be extended jointly with possible state of emergency extensions. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday announced a gradual easing of COVID-19 lockdown measures despite a new surge in infections, which took Russia's tally past Italy's, making it the fourth highest in the world. The president unveiled new support measures for businesses and families with children who have seen their livelihoods devastated. He said unemployment had doubled to 1.4 million in a month, and he wanted to try to stop it spiraling higher. The Russian leader emphasized the lifting of restrictions would be gradual and that individual regions of the world's largest country would need to tailor their approach to varying local conditions. Moscow, for example, has said it will keep its own lockdown measures in place until May 31st. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said on Tuesday Denmark will significantly increase testing for COVID-19 and put a contact tracing system in place to prevent a second wave of the coronavirus. Fears that a second wave of infections could thwart the reopening of the global economy were triggered on Monday. The country's chief epidemiologist said Tuesday, however, that Denmark is very unlikely to be hit by a second wave of coronavirus. COVID-19 restrictions will be eased in Senegal, President Macky Sall said Tuesday, with nighttime curfews shortened and mosques reopened. While confirming the rules would change, President Sall said in a televised address that Senegalese would need to adapt individual and collective behavior and learn to live with the virus. He said the COVID-19 disease would continue to circulate for at least another 3 months, even under the best-case scenario. Mosques will be reopened for prayers during the holy month of Ramadan, and churches will also be allowed to accept worshippers. According to officials, a suicide bomber in eastern Afghanistan killed and wounded at least 50 men on Tuesday in an attack on the funeral of a police commander attended by government officials and a member of parliament. The spokesman for the governor of the Nangarhar province said mourners had gathered for the funeral of a local militia commander who died of a heart attack on Monday night when the bomber struck among the crowd, killing and wounding many. Kuwait Petroleum Corporation said Tuesday the price of Kuwaiti oil went up by 62 cents to $21.25 per barrel in Monday's trading. The price of the Brent crude went down by $1.37 to $29.60 per barrel. The same case with the West Texas Intermediate, which went down by 60 cents to $24.14 per barrel. Meanwhile, oil futures rose on Tuesday, boosted by an unexpected commitment from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to deepen production cuts in June to help drain the blood in the global market that has grown as the coronavirus pandemic crushed fuel demand. China suspended imports from 4 major Australian beef suppliers Tuesday, just weeks after Beijing's ambassador warned of a consumer boycott in retaliation for Canberra's push to probe the origins of COVID-19. Officials said the move raised concerns of a possible standoff between Australia and its most important trading partner that could spill over into other crucial sectors as it struggles to navigate the disease-induced economic crisis.